My sister and I were reborn back to the age of 16, the day our parents divorced. In my past life, Mother couldn't stand Father's poverty, so she cheated on him with a wealthy man in town. My younger sister, Nana, shamed Mother and chose to stay with Father, who never remarried. I, on the other hand, followed Mother to the rich man's house, becoming his stepdaughter, pampered by my stepbrother, Soo Yunhao, and achieving career success. Meanwhile, Nana married a thug, divorced in middle age, and lived in poverty. In a fit of rage, she drove her car into mine, wanting us both to die together. This time, Nana let go of Father's hand, clutched Mother's, and said, "Mom, take me with you. I don't want to stay with this poor father anymore." I smiled. My sister wanted to switch lives with me, to jump into this cesspool that I once inhabited. "Mom, take me with you. I don't want to stay with this poor father anymore." Nana's voice was as arrogant as ever, but this time, it also held a hint of urgency and flattery. Mother looked at Nana in surprise, as if not understanding what was happening. The daughter who had just recently criticized her for being a loose woman now seemed like a different person. Father also looked astonished. After hearing Nana's words, his face darkened. "Nana, how can you say that to your father?" Since childhood, Nana had always known how to sweet-talk and was greatly beloved by both parents. Nana, fearing Mother might not take her, quickly put on a show of loyalty. "Dad, am I wrong? If you had been more capable, Mom wouldn't have had an affair. You can't just blame Mom, you should also look at yourself. Did you not earn enough money, or were you not gentle and caring enough towards Mom?" I bowed my head, pressing my lips together, trying to suppress a smile. Father trembled with rage, roaring, "Ha ha!" He was truly furious. His male pride was trampled, and he was deeply hurt by Nana. Mother, moved, grasped Nana's hand. "Nana, all these years my love for you hasn't been in vain, only you understand my suffering." Nana smiled flatteringly. "Mom, after I go back to new Dad's house with you, I'll be good and obedient, and I'll definitely make new Dad accept me?" Calling him Dad before even meeting him, how despicable. Father clenched his fists, veins throbbing on his forehead, struggling to contain his anger. I gently tugged at his sleeve, looked up, and smiled innocently. "Dad, don't be angry anymore. As long as our conscience is clear, that's enough." Just one sentence brought tears to my 6-foot-tall father's eyes. In this situation, he was the victim, yet his own daughter was the one causing him pain. How could his heart not ache? In my past life, even though Father didn't earn much, he loved Nana unconditionally. He didn't remarry because he was afraid Nana would be at a disadvantage. Such a good father, yet Nana didn't appreciate him. As for Mother, she seemed glamorous and financially secure on the surface, but the character of that rich man was truly disgusting. He frequently abused Mother and even forced her to participate in partner-swapping activities. And that stepbrother, Soo Yunhao, was even more terrifying than the stepfather. Not only was he promiscuous, but he also had twisted fetishes. Originally, I had thought of ways to escape that den of devils, but now that Nana was fighting to jump in, as a good elder sister, I would, of course, grant her wish. Mother took Nana and also took all the money Father had saved over the years. Looking at our desolate home, my heart ached. Father turned away, secretly wiping tears, then pretended as if nothing had happened. "Anna, even though Mom and Nana are gone, Dad will take good care of you. I won't let you suffer any hardship." A man who hadn't achieved much in life, yet always stood tall, protecting his family. He shouldn't become so dejected and pathetic. He was a hero. I pushed Father onto the sofa, rubbing his back as I spoke. "Dad, I believe in you. All these years, if it weren't for your hard work, how could we have lived so comfortably? Mom's affair isn't your fault. You gave us everything you could. No matter how late you worked, you came home to do chores and always remembered our preferences. They were greedy and vain, and they blamed you. That's a problem with their character and worldview. Don't blame yourself anymore, Dad." Father's voice was hoarse as he nodded repeatedly. "My daughter is right, I'm so happy. Let me go make some delicious dishes for you." Watching Father's busy back in the kitchen, I returned to my room, cleaned it thoroughly, and threw away all of Nana's clothes and Mother's belongings that were piled in the living room. Father looked at me in surprise. "Anna, what are you doing?" I pointed to the door. "Dad, open the door, throw everything out. They're gone. Leaving them behind just makes things cluttered. I'm afraid that if I see too much, I'll be influenced and won't be able to distinguish good from bad." I cleaned the house from inside out, rearranged furniture, bought new tablecloths and fresh flowers, trying to erase all traces of Mother and Nana so Father could escape the darkness sooner. My father deserved a better life. Half a month later, mother and the rich man got married. The wedding was grand, and the invitations were personally delivered by a chauffeur, seemingly just to provoke father. But father was now far different from the dejected man he was half a month ago. In my past life, he hid his pain, dared not speak to anyone, and had to work hard to raise Nana, which left him exhausted and haggard. But now, everyone in the neighborhood comforted him when they saw him. So, what if you're divorced? There are many women who want to marry a good man like you. Just say the word, and I'll introduce you to a good woman. Hearing this often, father gradually got used to it. Moreover, every day after work, he ate hot meals I cooked and then went to the street to play chess with the elderly men. His spirits were even better than before. Father handed me his entire salary. Take this and go to the wedding. You haven't seen your mother in a long time, you must miss her. I didn't refuse. I took out 15 notes and gave them back to father. You can keep the money, Dad. Otherwise, you might get depressed again and give it all away. You have 50,000 for pocket money every day. Don't be too stingy or no one will play with you. I'll keep the rest. Before, mother only gave him 300,000 for pocket money a month, and I blamed him for being wasteful. He even frequently bought groceries to cook. Father and I lived a simple life, but one full of love. Father was an honest man, a welder by trade. His friends were also honest laborers. Mother had abandoned father for a rich man, taking Nana with her. Nana had now changed her surname and lived in luxury, but I knew that life was not as easy as it seemed. I remembered my past life, when I lived in that rich man's house. I witnessed their cruelty and wickedness. My mother and sister were now in that trap, but I couldn't do anything to save them. I could only focus on caring for father, who had always loved and sacrificed for me. Father didn't have many friends, but his friends were all very kind. They pooled their money to buy me the latest phone, even though they didn't have much themselves. I was grateful to them, and I also knew that my father deserved such friends. I decided to throw a birthday party for father, inviting his close friends to our house. I cooked many delicious dishes and bought a few cases of beer so they could relax and have fun. I sat downstairs, scrolling through my phone, watching the live broadcast of mother and the rich man's wedding. In the video, Nana stood next to mother, dressed in designer clothes, but her smile looked artificial. I remembered what had happened in my past life, and I knew that luxurious life was just a facade for suffering and humiliation. I couldn't save mother and Nana, but I wouldn't let them drag me down into that abyss again. In the evening, after father and his friends left, I saw father humming in the kitchen, washing dishes. It was the first time I had seen him so happy. Father turned to look at me, his face flushed with alcohol, but his eyes were bright. My daughter, I'm truly happy today. My friends all praised me for having such a good daughter. They're all envious of me. I smiled. Dad, your blessings are still ahead. Father laughed heartily. That's right, my blessings are still ahead. As long as you're healthy, whether you get into university or not, I'll be happy. I frowned. No way, if I don't get into a good university, I won't be happy. I'm going to study hard. Father shook his head, smiling. This girl, her temper is too strong now, just like me in the old days. I burst out laughing. My father was now truly the father I remembered, a strong, confident, and determined man. When the new school year began, Nana appeared with a completely different look. She was dressed head to toe in designer clothes, wearing a CIA necklace, carrying a Chanel bag, and strutting around like a peacock fanning its tail. In my past life, living in that rich man's house, I was always careful with my words and actions, afraid of displeasing them and making mother's life difficult. But no matter how hard I tried, they still found ways to torment mother. Now Nana lived so luxuriously, mother's life must be even more difficult than before. Nana used to love following me because I was a good student and well-liked by many, so she benefited from my popularity. But now, she avoided me as if afraid I would affect her status. Anna, your clothes are so beautiful, a classmate praised Nana. Nana sniffed. I've changed my surname. Now call me Nana Sue. The largest shopping mall in the city belongs to my new dad. The whole class gasped in admiration, then turned to ask me, Anna, did you also change your surname? Nana sneered contemptuously. No, she's still Joe. She still lives with that poor father. You guys, stay away from her lest you catch her poverty. I chuckled. Don't worry, I won't sell my dignity for money. Everyone asked curiously, Anna, what do you mean? I decided to use the same trick Nana had used to harm me in my past life. I said, my mother had an affair with a rich man. Nana followed her home and even changed her surname, afraid the rich father wouldn't accept her. My father, although he earned little money, gave all his salary to my mother every month. He cooked and cleaned when he came home. My mother stayed at home all day playing cards and shopping, not even washing a single bowl. Yet my father still gave her all his savings of several years, afraid she wouldn't have money to spend in her new home and would be bullied. My classmates, being from ordinary families with a good sense of right and wrong, looked at Nana differently after hearing this. Nana snorted. In this day and age, money is king. Without money, good morals are nothing. Filial piety is useless if you're poor. Just then, the homeroom teacher entered the classroom. Hearing Nana's words, she frowned. Your thinking is skewed, Nana protested. What did I say wrong? In this day and age, money is everything. The teacher angrily slammed her book on the desk. Either invite your parents or get out of my class. Nana had no choice but to call her mother, but mother didn't answer. Nana then called father. Father quickly arrived, still in his worker's uniform, his forehead covered in sweat, looking a bit disheveled. Nana, what's wrong? Were you bullied? Father asked anxiously. Nana recoiled a few steps, her face full of disdain. Why did you come here looking like this? It's so embarrassing. Father stammered an apology. Your father received your call, afraid something happened to you, so I asked for leave and rushed over, worried you'd be anxious. Nana retorted impatiently, if I had known this, I wouldn't have called you. Father rubbed his hands awkwardly. The homeroom teacher frowned. Are you Nana's father? Nana loudly interjected. My name is Nana Sue, he's not my father. Father's face turned pale, his eyes filled with disappointment and sorrow. The teacher questioned, if he's not your father, why did you call him? Where is your father? Nana pouted triumphantly. My new father is a very rich CEO. He's very busy, so he doesn't have time to come here. I stood outside the office door, unable to listen anymore, and pulled father away. I turned to my friends who were watching intently and said loudly, this is my father. He's a very skilled welder. Many people invite him to work. Perhaps in the eyes of others, my father is just an ordinary worker with a small monthly salary, but my father is my pride. It's thanks to this profession that he supported our whole family. Father is a great man. I've never felt that father's job is something to be ashamed of, nor have I felt that he is unworthy of discussion. Because my father works hard and lives honestly, I'm always proud to have a father like him. The homeroom teacher clapped, and everyone else followed suit, clapping enthusiastically. Father, who had been bowing his head, now held it high, his weak eyes beginning to sparkle. After this incident, father was completely disappointed in Nana. He never mentioned mother or Nana again. Occasionally, father would invite friends over for dinner, his voice no longer as soft as before when talking to others. His face was also radiant with a smile. Father had returned to the enthusiastic period of his youth. This was the father in my memory, a strong, confident, and determined man. One day, father brought home a flyer for a new apartment project. He pointed to a 3-bedroom apartment with a large balcony and asked, my daughter, do you like this house? Your friends all live in beautiful apartment complexes. Let's move there too. I'll put it in your name. I glanced at it and immediately refused. No, I only like the house we're in now. Father thought I was being thrifty and said, this house isn't that expensive now. We can sell this house, make a down payment, and I'll pay the installments with my salary. I crossed my arms, resolutely saying, no, I refuse. After all, you're buying it for me. What matters most is whether I like it or not. Right now, I think this house is very good. Father rubbed his nose and chuckled. All right, as long as you don't feel ashamed, that's fine. I snorted. I only feel ashamed when I don't study well. Even though our house is simple, virtue shines through. You wouldn't understand, Dad. Father didn't understand, but still chuckled. He had suffered due to lack of education, so whenever I said something eloquent, he thought I was very clever. I also smiled. This house couldn't be sold right now. In 2 years, it would be demolished, and the compensation would be substantial. In my previous life, father had sold the house and then was heavily scolded by Nana, but that was because he selfishly wanted to move and chose the largest apartment. I focused all my attention on my studies, and my efforts paid off. From being around the 100th in my grade, I now ranked in the top 10. My photo was posted on the Golden Board. During flag raising, I stood on the podium, reading my essay that received a perfect score, basking in everyone's admiring gazes. Nana, meanwhile, looked visibly gaunt. Her once sparkling eyes were now tired. Once, I accidentally caught the cold gaze of my stepbrother, Soo Yoonhao. He wasn't looking at me, but his eyes were fixed on Nana, like a hunter playing with his prey, clearly able to kill immediately but too bored, so he let it linger and continued to play. In my past life, he looked at me with the same eyes. Nana Sue, your brother brought you breakfast. Your brother is so gentle. I'm so envious of you. A hint of fear flashed in Nana's eyes. She turned to look at Su Yunhao standing at the classroom door, her body instinctively trembling. My brother treats me very well. She slowly walked to the back door, looked up, and forced a smile. Thank you, brother. Su Yunhao affectionately stroked Nana's head. Silly sister, this is what I should do. I always wanted a sister, and now that I have you, I can't express my joy. Remember to eat breakfast on time, or you'll get a stomachache. Gasps of admiration echoed in the classroom again. Su Yunhao was handsome, smart, and usually very polite, the secret crush of many girls. After Su Yunhao left, everyone surrounded Nana. Nana, you must have saved the entire Milky Way in your past life. Do you know how many girls dream of him? Even girls from neighboring schools write him love letters. Your brother is so gentle. Just now, he looked at you with such doting affection. He must treat you even better at home, right? There are a few handsome guys in our school, but he's the first who's truly handsome and smart. I heard he's been granted a leave of absence and doesn't need to attend classes anymore. Is he just coming to school to take care of you now? Nana's face turned pale. She suddenly stood up, rushed to the trash can at the back of the classroom, and vomited violently. Nana, are you okay? Is it because it's cold so you caught a cold? Nana nodded awkwardly. I have a cold. Feeling the burning gaze behind me, I turned and smiled at her, a faint but meaningful smile. Her hands clenched into fists. She blamed me again. Well then, don't blame me for pushing her into the abyss. During homeroom, the teacher announced a talent show, encouraging everyone to participate actively. This time, a TV station would be filming, so there was a good chance of appearing on screen. Nana raised her hand first, stood up, and proudly said, "Teacher, I'd like to sign up for a solo song. My sister and I both inherited good singing voices from our mother. In my past life, with my talent and hard work, I chose not to participate in competitions so that Nana could win first place. But now she also needed a win to bring glory to her rich family, hoping that the abuse would lessen. So I also raised my hand and smiled at the teacher. Teacher, I'd also like to sign up for a solo song." Nana turned to look at me with a challenging gaze, confident she would win. I gave a slight, cold smile. Then don't lose too miserably. Before, I didn't like to stand out, so Nana always handled these things, and she genuinely thought I wasn't as good as her. But how ironic, these past few days, Su Yunhao had made her voice hoarse. How could she compare to me? On the day of the talent show, Father wore a new suit and even got a haircut, looking very refreshed. When Mother saw Father, she was startled, but Father's gaze just brushed past her without any lingering emotion. Now, Father had completely let go of Mother. Because my academic performance was excellent, as soon as Father sat down, other parents proactively started conversations with him. "Are you Anna Joe's father? How did your daughter improve so quickly in her studies? Please share your secret with us. My daughter truly gives me a headache. Every night I have to tutor her until late, but it's no use. Later, let Anna play with my daughter often so she can get some good luck from a top student." Father smiled awkwardly. "I'm not too sure myself. She doesn't need me to remind her to do homework. When I come home from work, she's already cooked dinner." These words made them both envious and admiring. In contrast, the rich man who used to be flattered by everyone now sat in cold silence, his expression extremely unpleasant. My mother stood beside him, trying to force a smile. I stood backstage, watching this scene and smiling softly. The program director was my best friend. I deliberately arranged for Nana to perform before me to create a crushing effect. Nana stepped onto the stage, wearing a cute and delicate pink princess dress. Her movements were well rehearsed, only her singing voice was a bit hoarse and weak. The audience applauded enthusiastically. Compared to previous acts, her singing was actually not bad. As she walked past me, Nana boasted, "With that rag you're wearing, you dare to compare yourself to me? How embarrassing." I gave a challenging smile. "Then don't lose too badly." Unlike Nana's gentle and sweet song, I chose an energetic English rock song. I wore a luminous raincoat. When I stepped onto the stage, rock music instantly blared, electrifying the atmosphere. Even the sleepy students immediately woke up. My singing voice, inherently cool, became clear and pure when I lowered it slightly, perfectly blending with the rock music. It was truly amazing. As the song reached its climax, a large bucket of water poured down from above, drenching me. The luminous raincoat instantly lit up. I removed the raincoat in a stylish way. Underneath was a long black dress, creating a contrast that was both dramatic and stunning. Damn, that's too cool. I declared this the best performance, none could compare. When the song ended, the audience applauded nonstop, cheers resounding. Some students even shouted, "Sing it again." I was the only one to achieve a perfect score, and after me, no one could surpass it. Reporters and cameras surrounded me. I proudly hugged Father's arm, showing off, "This is my father, the best father in the world and also the best welder. My father cooks very well, has no bad habits, is kind, responsible, and trustworthy. His biggest hobbies are cleaning the house and playing chess with the old men downstairs. I've said a lot, but the most important thing is that my father is single. In his previous relationship, my father was not at fault at all. He is a good man. Is there any single or divorced aunt or older sister out there? I want to find a reliable stepmother who is gentle, traditional, and knows how to take care of the family. My father cannot provide immense wealth, but he can guarantee a sweet life in the future. I will take care of my father's old age." Father couldn't listen anymore and pulled me away. The crowd behind us laughed. "If there's anyone suitable, we'll introduce them." When we got home, Father intended to scold me. I held up the trophy, boasting, "Dad, tell me, why am I so talented? Good at studying and good at singing. I'm truly envious of you for having such an excellent daughter. Do you secretly smile in your sleep every night? I'm truly too good." Father smiled and shook his head. "Don't think like that and I'll forgive you. What did you say in front of the reporters and the TV station?" I held my head high, full of pride. I spoke the truth. "The teacher said that if I maintain this performance, I'll definitely be granted early admission next year. Today you also saw Mother. Now she lives in luxury, adorned with gold and silver. Her life is truly good. Nana has also completely forgotten about you. We've moved on, so why are you still stuck? I hope you're healthy and I also hope you're happy. Don't worry that if you find a stepmother, they'll bully me. I'm very cute. Everyone who sees me loves me. You're still young, why not find someone? Don't be afraid that having children will be a burden. Later, I'll help you take care of them. You've worked too hard in the first half of your life. In the second half, you can enjoy happiness. You deserve the best life too." Father softly pressed his lips together, his eyes red. Finally, he could only say one sentence, "You're a good child. I didn't raise you in vain. My life is truly worthwhile." Nana had been absent from school for half a month. It was said she had a cold, but what kind of cold required half a month off? She was definitely tormented by Soo Yoonhao to the point where she couldn't leave her bed. He particularly enjoyed violent sexual games involving strangulation. Mother's social media page hadn't been updated for a long time. Before, she often boasted about her wealth, but now she was silent. In my past life, because I was excellent enough and always tried to please them, Mother and I lived relatively comfortably. But Nana constantly provoked them, crossing every boundary. When she got into trouble, Mother also had to suffer with her. It was true, those two deserved to be together. Summer vacation arrived. The 12th graders had finished their university entrance exams. Next year, Soo Yoonhao would no longer be at school. Thinking of this, I breathed a sigh of relief. The rich family went on a trip to the Maldives, while I took Father on a trip to Xinjiang. Father was a bit hesitant about the expense as he had never traveled in his life. I showed him my savings account. The amount startled Father. "How do you have so much?" I proudly said, "That's your monthly salary, Dad. We don't spend much on food plus the prize money from my competitions." Father still refused. "This money is for you when you go to university. When you graduate, I'll buy you a house and a car. Then if you don't want to work, you can stay home and rest." I interrupted Father. "Dad, I'm not useless. I have hands and feet, why wouldn't I work? Have you seen the Animal World program? How hard they have to struggle to survive. In today's society, earning money isn't that difficult. Out in the world, I'm not afraid of failure because I know you're my rock." My persuasion skills were excellent, and Father was finally convinced. He agreed to travel to Xinjiang with me. There, we met a beautiful Uyghur girl. She seemed very fond of Father. However, Father was a bit shy. I was a little anxious but then thought, Father's life is his own, I shouldn't interfere too much. After this trip, Father's personality became much more open and confident. Although he still didn't go on blind dates or meet other women, I knew Father had let go of many things. He was waiting for me to finish my university exams before considering it. Life in the final year of high school was much busier. I constantly worked on practice problems, recorded my mistakes, and occasionally saw Nana hanging out with a group of delinquent female students. Sometimes, she even smoked in the restroom and had a boyfriend. Her expression was still arrogant and defiant, but it was empty, like a stagnant puddle. That rich family, like a poisonous mushroom, had finally swallowed Nana whole. 2 months before the university entrance exam, Father received a notice. Our house would be demolished. The compensation was $100 million, plus a resettlement apartment with a parking space. Father was overjoyed. That very day, he took me to complete the transfer procedures. The house was put in my name, and the money was deposited into my bank account. I joked with Father, "Dad, why did you sign so quickly? If you had dragged it out a bit longer, maybe we would have gotten more money." Father didn't mind. One shouldn't be too greedy. This amount is already more than enough. I felt lucky to have inherited Father's character. After this news spread, distant relatives and close ones all flocked to our house, asking for loans. The house became chaotic. Father then called all his close friends to our house, and they ate and drank continuously for half a month. The tall, burly men filled the house, making the relatives afraid to cause trouble. Although Father was traditional and responsible, he also wouldn't let anyone take advantage of him. No matter how they cursed him as heartless and cruel, Father ignored them. But then Nana also came to the house. Father opened the door, a little surprised, but didn't let her in. His voice was cold. "What do you want?" Nana smiled sweetly. "Dad, I dreamed of you last night, so I came to visit today." With that, she tried to step inside. Father turned to look at me, who was sitting on the sofa, smiling coldly, then rubbed his nose and finally blocked the door with his hand. "If there's nothing, then go home." Nana immediately flared up. "Why not?" "This is my home too." I stood up from the sofa, walked in front of her, and smiled coldly. "Sorry, this house's owner is surnamed Joe, not Sue." Nana glared at me, then looked at Father with flattering eyes. "Dad, I know I was wrong, but back then I had no other choice. If I didn't change my surname, they wouldn't accept me. Can I change back to Joe now? I won't go back there anymore, and I'll completely cut ties with Mother." Father firmly refused. "No need. Even if you change your surname, this house and the compensation money aren't yours." "Why?" Nana screamed frantically. "I'm also your daughter, you can't be so biased. Half of these things belong to me too." Father gave a cold laugh. "You're indeed here for these things. Don't look for me again in the future. I'll consider it as if I never had you." I gave a thumbs up, praising Father. "Well done, Dad. You're truly Anna Joe's father. Tonight, will you cook braised beef for me, Dad?" Father chuckled and went back to the kitchen. Nana tried to follow, but I immediately slammed the door shut, ignoring her screams outside. Anyway, the neighbors here didn't know who she was, so even if she screamed until her throat broke, no one would care. Nana began to use dirty tricks. She started leading a group of delinquent students to bully me. My textbooks and homework constantly disappeared, and my chair was covered in red ink. My classmates also dared not play with me anymore. I immediately reported it to the teacher. As an excellent student, I couldn't let her ruin my progress. Nana was called in with her parent again. This time, Mother came. Although dressed in designer clothes, she couldn't hide her exhaustion and aged appearance, looking as if she had aged 20 years. "Let's just drop this matter. She's just her sister, it's just a childish prank. There's no need to make a big deal out of it," Mother said. I scoffed. "All right, then let her publicly apologize to me in front of the entire school." Nana glared at me, but the homeroom teacher spoke up. "If she doesn't apologize publicly, then she's expelled." That was the power of a top student. Behind me was the entire school. Mother frowned. "I'm willing to donate $200 million. It was no small sum, but the teacher didn't waver. "You're also Anna's mother. Why are you so biased? No matter how much you donate, it won't work. Anna is an excellent student. What if her mental state is affected and she doesn't perform well in her exams? She doesn't just represent herself, but she's also the pride of the entire school." Mother looked at me with complex eyes, and finally had no choice but to agree to have Nana apologize publicly in front of the entire school. Nana hated me for this. On the day of the university entrance exam, she led a group of thugs to block my way. Well, the top scholar candidate. What will you do now? The exam has already started, you won't make it in time." Nana sneered. I glanced at my watch and chuckled softly. "You won't be taking the exam either, will you?" Nana, confident in her own performance, said, "For my grades, it doesn't matter if I take the exam or not. They'll arrange for me to get into university anyway. But you're in trouble now, wasted a whole year. Who knows if you'll be so lucky tomorrow?" I shrugged, smiling lazily. Oh, I forgot to tell you. I've already been granted early admission. Nana was so angry she jumped up, ordering the thugs to hit me. But before they could even make a move, the entire group was arrested by the police. I had called the police the moment Nana blocked my way. My sister was still as foolish as in my past life. While studying at university, I started my own business. I used my money to open a barbecue restaurant for Father near the school. In my spare time, I would also go help Father. Because the food was delicious and affordable, students loved to eat there. Then, I started making short videos documenting Father's ordinary but busy life. At that time, there weren't many short video creators, and my videos were well produced, with warm and simple storylines, quickly attracting a large following. Many people even specifically came to the restaurant because of the video's fame, so I leased an entire block of shops. Father's friends also often came to help, and I shared the profits with them, making them small business owners. During the day, when it wasn't busy, they would sit around chatting, reminiscing about their youth. By evening, the restaurant would become bustling. I established a celebrity management company, training and developing KOLs to start live streaming sales, generating huge profits. 3 years later, I completed enough credits and graduated early, starting to dominate the business world. That rich man proactively sought to collaborate with me, wanting a slice of the short video market. But he could only dream. On the short video platform, thousands of KOLs simultaneously spoke out, exposing all the dirty deeds of that rich family. They were thrown into prison, and the news spread everywhere. Even though I didn't know much about their business dealings, nor the extent of their connections, and didn't even know what they truly dealt in, I had money. I could buy any information I wanted. Videos of the rich man and mother participating in partner-swapping activities were leaked. Scenes of Soo Yoon-hao and his friends playing with Nana were also exposed. Crimes such as lewd gatherings, abusing others to death, tax evasion, and bribery were all uncovered. The rich man was sentenced to 18 years in prison. Soo Yoon-hao received 12 years. Their conglomerate was carved up by other companies and declared bankrupt. Mother and Nana sought them out again. Before they could even open their mouths, they were blocked by KOLs waiting at the door, who filmed their wounds, shaming them and simultaneously earning huge engagement for their live streams. Therefore, I wasn't afraid of Mother and Nana coming. Every time they appeared, the viewership for the live stream sales of the KOLs under me would exceed 300,000, and the money flowed into my pockets. So, they sought out Father, thinking he would be soft-hearted. But they found that Father was always surrounded by many beautiful, gentle, and capable women. Mother blamed everything on Nana, saying Nana had ruined her life. She sold Nana to a single man in the mountains as his wife. Nana was abused and eventually beaten to death. Mother then became a prostitute at sea, but because she was old, only perverts sought her out. Finally, she died in a dilapidated rented room, her body decaying and infested with maggots. Just then, I received a letter from prison, written by Soo Yoon-hao. My dearest Anna, long time no see, I miss you dearly. When you died, I grieved for a long time. My favorite toy was destroyed by others. I heard that my family's conglomerate collapsed because of you. Indeed, the toy I chose is truly interesting. Be good, wash yourself thoroughly, and wait for me. This time, I won't let you leave me again. I immediately threw the letter into the trash. I turned to my assistant. Go arrange for a few people to go in there and take good care of Soo Yoon-hao and his father. Don't let them die, but make sure they live a life worse than death. Understand? The assistant pushed up his glasses and nodded. Understood, CEO. We were too busy before and forgot about them. Now they're asking for it. Every week, I received bloody and brutal photos of Soo Yoon-hao and his father being tortured. I was very satisfied. I gifted my assistant a villa in the city center and asked him to continue his excellent work. Finally, Soo Yoon-hao died in prison, his body dismembered. 2 years later, the rich man also died in prison. Their entire family was reunited in hell. My father married a very gentle elementary school teacher. She loved children dearly, but due to health reasons, she couldn't have any. Perhaps that's why Father chose her. I thought I had become emotionless, but at Father's wedding, I still couldn't hold back my tears. My father deserved the happiest life.